I just spent the day listening to Apple Hi-Res and comparing it with Amazon Music, and I've got some thoughts for you. Also, a quick channel update. To start off, I've had a lot of positive feedback from my last video review of the Bluesound Node. Joey G's audio channel, he even did a video about it, and I'll link below. I thought that was so cool. So I've got a little bit of a fire behind me. I want to make some more videos. Maybe not as long and labor intensive, but we'll see. I'm having a lot of fun and I'm learning a lot about editing and putting myself on camera, which is kind of weird, but it's fun at the same time. So I decided to upgrade some of my camera gear. My A7R III was feeling a little old as far as recent technologies are concerned, so I traded it in for an A1, which is a beast of a camera and an absolute joy to use. Had a bit of a kerfuffle though. After I unboxed it, I put the battery in and started messing with the menus. The thing started getting so warm and then hot, I wasn't even taking photos and it just felt like it was burning up. I had a Really Right Stuff plate on it and even the plate was hot to the touch. So I turned it off. I took the battery out, and maybe it was a bad battery, maybe there was something wrong with the camera, I have no idea. But back to the store it went, and I ended up finding another one at another store, actually for a better deal, which was pretty sweet, and I picked that up. The A1 is a crazy joy to use. It just feels like so much more of a competent tool than the R3 did. We'll see what happens with video. This is actually the first time I'm using it for video. I'd also like to welcome my new channel subscribers. I'm happy to be your new YouTube sea monkey that you can watch jump from one video to the next. Stick around, it may get interesting. Anyhow, on to the music chit chat. So 3 different music services to discuss today. There are Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. Let's talk about Spotify first. I've had it the longest. It's got a huge extensive library. My personal playlist is like crazy long, and it's been great. It's at a bit of a disadvantage comparing to the other two because it's not high-res music. They've promised to update their service to CD quality, which is going to be great when it happens. Hasn't happened yet as of this recording, of course. Apple and Amazon Music are a much closer comparison right now because they both offer high-resolution streaming up to 192 kilohertz. And let me tell you, there is a huge difference between 44.1 kilohertz to 192. To highlight this point, let's compare Spotify to Amazon Music first. In the comments section of my last vid, one subscriber, David Wald, told me to check out a Heart song, Dog and Butterfly, and compare the differences to its high-resolution variant. This was really interesting, but before getting into it, here's how I have everything set up. I'll be using the Bluesound Node for the streaming source, feeding out to a Denafrips Ponus 2 DAC, connected to a GSX Mini with my Meze Empyrean headphones. I'll be using this gear for each comparison just to keep things consistent. So I started to listen to Dog and Butterfly on Spotify. Completely new to me, but I've listened to Heart before. Switched to Amazon Music as my source, and here's where things got interesting. I closed my eyes and I could easily have been convinced that I was back in Heart's recording studio. The guitar jumped into my ears almost as if I was right in front, like crowding the artist. The quality of sound was so bloody high resolution. The separation of instruments and voices was so much more obvious. The sound was more organic, and I felt like I was listening to it live. The difference was that obvious. Now on to Amazon versus Apple Music. Because these services are more fairly comparable, I decided to attempt my first blind listening test. It did not go well. I selected Rock and Roll by Velvet Underground because it's awesome, and it's $24,192 on both services. Unfortunately, Apple doesn't play nice with the Bluesound, so if I wanted to be fair, BitPerfect could only be achieved through an iOS device. So I had my iPad running through USB to my Denafrip stack, and then the Bluesound node handling Amazon from coax as usual. All I needed now was a blindfold and a willing assistant to switch inputs. Every time said assistant left the Apple Music USB input, it would automatically pause the track on the iPad. Unfortunately, that gave away to me which input she was on. So blind test was pretty much a fail. Okay, fine. But going from Apple to Amazon showed a clear difference in any case, and it was easy for me to tell which one I preferred. The Bluesound on Amazon sounded much better than Apple Music, even though I'm still getting bit perfect from the iPad. I tried a number of other tracks and basically came to the same conclusion. The Bluesound with Amazon is doing its job very well here. The difference wasn't as obvious as Amazon versus Spotify, but it was still there. So, if Amazon Music sounds the best, is that my top pick? Not necessarily. There's a little bit more to consider here. Recommendation algorithms being one of them. These are non-existent in the BlueOS app, unfortunately, and not even half decent in Amazon's own native app, in my opinion. Another main drawback is if you want to take Amazon Music portably with you, it's not going to happen. It'll work, but it won't sound great. You're not getting bit perfect with Amazon Music unless you're using the Bluesound node, Power Node, or any such streamer that allows that. You can't get it from an iOS device, and that kind of sucks. Apple Music completely solves those Amazon shortcomings. Its app is much more polished and better integrated. It gives you bit perfect on an iOS device right out the gate, and its search suggestion algorithms are way better than Amazon's. In my opinion, they're completely on point. Not needing to buy a separate streamer is certainly cheaper, and this frees you up to take your music with you portably, kind of like I've done here. This is my iFi iDSD signature getting fed delicious, lossless Apple Music from my iPhone. For a mobile setup, this sounds really good. Another great feature, and my channel's first ever pro tip, is how frickin' easy it is to add songs to your personal library. You don't even have to use your hands. While driving, I thought to myself, this is a good song. I'd like to add it to my library, but I'm on the highway. I should be able to ask the Apple overlord to add it for me. So I tried it out, and I said, hey, Apple overlord, add this to library. And it worked. It was so cool. Because of this, I will only ever use Apple Music in the car. I love this song. Hey, add this to library.
I've added that to your library.
Easy stuff. That's it. Oh, hello. So you'd like to discuss Apple Music shortcomings? Well, you've come to the right place. So there are a couple here. First one, and it's a big one, is you can't get bit perfect with any of their desktop machines. I have a brand new M1 Mac Mini on the latest version of Big Sur, no dice. If you want bit perfect, high-res music, you have to stick with one of their iOS devices, iPad or iPhone. Hopefully this changes soon because Apple's taking their high-res music seriously and always innovating and blah, blah, blah. Let's hope. The next thing is you can't get bit perfect through Bluesound. And obviously this is only going to affect those of you with Bluesound nodes and power nodes, but there it is. You can cast, you can AirPlay to the Bluesound node, but it won't be high res. So there's that. The final thing is that Amazon Music has way more high res content than Apple Music. And this may change down the road, but Amazon's had a longer time to fill their libraries, I suppose, and that's the reason in my experience. It's just not near as much. And those are my three things. So all of these streaming services have their pros and cons. Whichever you choose should depend entirely on your use case and the audio gear that you have. For me right now, Amazon Music sounds the best in conjunction with Blue Sound, no surprise there. But if I'm on the go, Apple Music, no question. Thank you guys for watching. It was a quick video, and hey man, if you want to rack up some fake internet points, please let me know some of your favorite tracks. My taste in music is all over the place. I'm always looking for new stuff. I'm sort of desperate for it at the moment. Call me. Until next time, host chocolate. Peace. Be a good girl for mommy. No. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
My name is Raj and I am calling from Air Dirt Cleaning Service. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm good, Raj. How are you?
Sir, I am very fine, sir. Actually, the reason of my call is to inform you that we are running a promotion regarding the Air Dirt Cleaning Service in just a one flat rate without any sort of hookup charges and no permit charges. And
Raj.
also get a natural sanitization free.
Raj,
Sir?
you're on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
I'm putting you on YouTube.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm putting you on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're going on the internet. You're going to be famous.
Yes, sir. Sir, how many bedrooms do you have on the top floor?
That's none of your concern. I will never buy air duct cleaning. Ever. Never, Raj. And stop interrupting my videos. Okay, but I want you to have a nice day. Because I know you work hard, Raj. On to the next caller.
You are not.
I love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.